Ciao football lovers of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, I hope you're all doing well. I can't wait for the quarterfinal of the 3 different European competition to start again, because I watched the 3 different draws, Europa League, Champions League, Conference League, and some of the games, if not nearly all of these games, are just epic already on paper, so wait for when they will play, because it will be even more epic, more beautiful. I can't wait. Just one game in the 3 competition, Manchester City against Real Madrid. Crazy. For the 3rd consecutive years they are playing against each other. Then in Europa League, yes, there is the Italian derby, Milan-Roma, but Leverkusen, West Ham that yesterday played incredibly well. And then that comeback, another one from Leverkusen. This game will be beautiful to watch. It is nearly unpredictable. And then in Conference League, Olympiacos Fenerbahce, the atmosphere of this stadium. If you have the opportunity to go to one of these games, Olympiacos Fenerbahce or Fenerbahce against Olympiacos, this is the moment to do it. To book your flight, to book your hotel, because that's a game that you want to see, that you want to feel the vibes. So, really beautiful games in the 3 different competitions. We will go through all the competition, giving our opinion, prediction, and nice to know. I just want to go towards 2 different pages just to give you a bit the vibes. But before that, maximum of like, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and continue to support. Let me know in the comment if you are agreeing with me according to my prediction, if you are excited and thrilled about the different games. We start with AS, Spanish paper, este bombo es la bomba. No, I will not translate bombo, bomba, 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 because when we are watching the 8 different players that will represent their team in quarterfinal, yes, it is a bomba. Absolutely, it is a bomba. And then speaking about Conference League, well, Corriere dello Sport Italian page was writing, Inglesi no, please, the English teams, please no. Well, unfortunately for them, because Atalanta will play against Liverpool, which today on paper, well, easy for Liverpool, even if I have something to say about that game. So let's start with the unlucky Arsenal. Why am I saying unlucky Arsenal? Because we already know if they go through in the quarterfinal, well, against who they will potentially play in the semi-final and then to the final. Well, Arsenal, they finished in the side of the table where they will play against Bayern Munich, then you have Real Madrid, then you have Manchester City. Well, Bayern, City, and Real Madrid, they won a few competitions. Manchester City the last time in 2023, so last edition. The edition before 2022 it was Real Madrid, and in 2020 it was Bayern Munich. Unlucky Arsenal, well, we will see on the field, because on the other side they are a bit lucky. They play against a Bayern Munich that in Bundesliga is not doing so well. We come back on that game. Let's first start, of course, with the biggest game, the game that I was not expecting that early, especially if we know that in the last 2 editions Manchester City played against Real Madrid every single time in semi-final. Bellingham against Foden, beautiful. Pep Guardiola against Carlo Ancelotti, beautiful. A bit that Barcelona school of Pep against Real Madrid school of Ancelotti. There is everything to be just a beautiful game, a fantastic game. We also know that the last 4 times that they played against each other, well, at least the 4 ties that they played against each other, Real Madrid went through 2 times, Manchester City went through 2 times, and now they will play for a 5th time. It's incredible. We can't wait. Who will go through? Well, today it's easy to say Manchester City, the last winners, especially if we remember that the last time that they played against each other, Manchester City, they totally destroyed Real Madrid 4-0. Do you remember that game that was played on the 17th of May 2023? It's not even that far away, not even 4 years ago. And they believe in themselves, because if back then Manchester City could possibly have the doubts of that big, huge European competition, well, winning that trophy gave them a confidence boost. They have that aura of, we already did it, we already beat you, we can do it again. But of course, we are speaking about the other ones, Real Madrid. Real Madrid is the Champions League team. When you're thinking about that trophy with the big ears, the first thing that comes in mind, whatever team that you support, is always Real Madrid. They won the most of them. Of course, we know. Remember that Zidane era, but it didn't stop there. Before that Zidane era, how many different trophies did they won? Carlo Ancelotti won it already. And we know that more the competition goes, more Real Madrid is growing that competition. So maybe it's a bit of luck for City to play as early as that and not waiting to the semi-final or to the final to play against Los Blancos. At today, at today, I would go with a surprise. Real Madrid goes through in that game. Then we have the second game. Paris Saint-Germain against Barcelona. Of course, when you are thinking about that, do you remember that huge, big remontada? Of course you remember. Of course you remember. It's also Mbappe that will play against probably the team that next year, and from next year, well, he will play a lot against the big rival of Real Madrid, Barcelona. Well, Paris Saint-Germain will face Barcelona for the 14th and 15th time in European competition. That will be actually the team that they play the most games against in European competition. Crazy. It's something that now, when we are thinking about Champions League, we are thinking about Barcelona, Paris Saint-Germain. Well, Barcelona that did well against Napoli. They have beautiful youngsters. I think that at today, Mbappe and friends, they will go through. They have a really beautiful team. They already have a beautiful gap towards the other ones in Liga. They can really focus on one competition only, which not always is a benefit. I think that Mbappe will go through. This time it's Mbappe and friends that go through. And then, of course, we are all waiting to watch Enrique against Xavi. Another reunion. Ex-good friends from Barcelona, but also from the Spanish national team. Well, will be beautiful. Will be extremely beautiful. They also won the last Barcelona Champions League together when it was in 2015. Unfortunately, against the team that I support. Arsenal, Bayern, I already told you, unlucky Arsenal in a way. After 14 years of not reaching the quarterfinal. The last time they played in quarterfinal, we all remember, they went out after doing 2-2 against Barcelona. The return game, they were smashed and they were out. Well, they have the chance to do it again. Again, with a team that is starting with a B. This time not Barcelona, but Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich, in a way, having the worst Bundesliga season since so many years. But Bayern in Bayern, and they want to fight for one trophy. It would be totally crazy for Tuchel and Bayern Munich to just go into a season without any trophy to lift. Arsenal, they have that craziness. Let's do it. Let's try it. It was tough against Porto. Against Bayern, we want to try. We have nothing to lose. It's true, we are also playing in Premier League, and we are still dreaming about winning finally that Premier League. At today, Bayern is a bit ahead, especially if we are looking at the bit of stats that Bayern Munich will face Arsenal for the 5th time in the Champions League knockout stages. Well, the 4th time before, they always trashed them. They always won against them. It's a 100% victory at the moment from Bayern against Arsenal. And if we are looking at the worst result in European competition from Arsenal, well, there is that 4-0 loss against Milan in 11-12, but the 3 recent disaster losses from Arsenal were 3 times with the same score. 5-1 against Bayern in 15-16. 5-1 against Bayern in 16-17, and then again in that second leg, again a loss 5-1 against Bayern in 16-17. Total disaster. I'm not sure if they will do well or not. Today, Bayern goes through together with Paris Saint-Germain, and I told you, Real Madrid. Then we have that game that probably a lot of people will say, it's the less enthusiasm game, it's the less wow game, Atletico Madrid against Dortmund. It's a bit the underdog game. But in a way, look at how Atletico Madrid reacted against one of the top in form, best in shape team of Europe, Inter, and how strong they were into that game in their home, where only Athletic Bilbao was able to beat them this season. Atletico Madrid today, they are stronger. They are stronger, even if Dortmund, well, they have also nothing to lose, not competing for Bundesliga. Also them want to do the surprise, but at today, even if sometimes we have some periods where Atletico Madrid is doing bad, I believe they will go through as well. Then we have the next 2 competitions. We try to go a bit faster through them. Milan against Roma. They played so many times against each other in Coppa Italia, in Serie A, but never in a European competition. So it will be totally new for the Italian teams Milan and Roma to play against each other with actually not the music of Serie A, but listening to a European music. Oh. I'm sorry for that. Anyway, so Milan-Roma, difficult. The enthusiasm of the team of De Rossi with that change of coach. Dybala, Lukaku, Paredes. Hey, you have a lot of Aouar reborn, Pellegrini. They have a lot, and they have that young spirit of we can do something. We are that miracle team. We are the team that we were born again. We were doing that bad, and we don't want to do that bad anymore. We believe in our coach. We believe in the atmosphere. It will depend, of course, on the physical problems. On the other side, Milan could potentially be a bit ahead also because of their experience in European competition. But it's not an easy one. Leao showed that he was awake yesterday after a beautiful assist from Pulisic. They have everything to do well. Depends also a bit about their defense, how their defense will look like, which men will they have in defense. Today it's difficult to predict. Will we see like 2 draws and then the penalty shootouts will decide? Well, it could be a reason. Liverpool, Atalanta, poor Atalanta that in 18 games, in 18 days, they played 6 different teams against Inter, against Juve in Serie A. They played against Sporting twice, that are the leaders of Portugal. They did so well to actually overcome that difficult moment, qualifying to the next stage. And then, who will they meet? Liverpool, that is probably the big favorite of that competition. Yesterday again, after how long? 14 minutes, it was already 4-0. They destroyed Sparta yesterday. Whatever rotation they do, they are playing for the last season of their coach. Today, Liverpool, well, they have everything in hand to win not only that game against Atalanta, but also the competition. On the other side, if you are looking at some stats, well, Liverpool is the team that actually punished the Atalanta team the most in Europe with a 5-0. Biggest disaster loss of Atalanta in Europe. It was the 3rd of November, or it was the 11th March of 2020. Nightmare situation for the team of Gasperini. But there is one thing that I wanted to add on that. As Liverpool is still competing with City, with Arsenal for the Premier League, who knows if they will be a bit distracted by a strong, solid team of Gasperini. So I would not go with a 100% Liverpool. I would wait a bit. I'm really curious to see the first leg of that game. Then we have Leverkusen against West Ham. On paper, people will say, or maybe a few years ago, people would say, we don't care. West Ham, they won a European competition. Leverkusen, still at today, unbeaten. 37 games. And twice in Europa League, they were about to lose. They were 2-0 down. And twice the time they were able to recuperate that score. First time 2-2, then yesterday 3-2 in the last minute. That strength, that belief of it's never over going can do beautiful wonders. Can do really beautiful wonders. But yesterday, the strength of West Ham in that competition, epic game. Epic game. West Ham eliminated Leverkusen. Pay attention, mind my words. And then we have the last game, Benfica against Marseille. Marseille that yesterday was about to throw away a 4-0 lead. Benfica was in a difficult moment. Looks like they are out of it. I hope for them. In that game, I would go with a Benfica. But actually, according to me, it will not be the most beautiful game. And then we finish with the last competition, Conference League, that will be played the final in Athens. Well, Bruges, PAOK. Not the most interesting one. Bruges could potentially go through. Olympiacos, Fenerbahce. I already told you in the intro that game. What an atmosphere. Here it is impossible to guess. Maybe today Fenerbahce is a bit more ahead, but pay attention to Olympiacos. Yesterday again they did a beautiful performance. It's tough. It's really tough to give a prediction. Let me know what you think, Olympiacos, Fenerbahce, but it's a game that, if there is nothing else, that's a game that really I want to watch. I really, really want to watch. Then you have Aston Villa against LOSC, against Lille. Lille did well, huh? By the way, it's the first time ever that France has 3 teams in the quarterfinal won in every competition, with Paris Saint-Germain, Marseille, and now Lille. So France is doing quite well in Europe this year, but I believe it will not be enough to beat the team of Unai Emery. And then lucky Fiorentina playing against Plzen Victoria. I believe that Fiorentina is stronger. I believe that Fiorentina can go through, even if it's not the first time that we see their opponents going into the competitions that are called European competitions, so they can do something. That was it for me. Beautiful games. Again, it's tough. Manchester City, Real Madrid. Of course, you wish to see them even in the bigger stage in a final. We'll have a bit of anticipated final. Will be a really beautiful one. Paris Saint-Germain, Barça. Another great game that I can't wait to watch. Leverkusen, West Ham, beautiful. Liverpool, Atalanta. Can Atalanta create their surprise? We have a lot of stories to share about these games. I tell you, Champions League is great, is beautiful. It will be more exciting than a lot of people were thinking about. But Europa League is really strong. The level of Europa League this season is great. A lot of these teams, I believe five teams on 8, well, they would maybe deserve to be in quarterfinal of Champions League, because we have strong teams there. So let me know everything in comment. I can't wait to read you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you. My name is Giuseppe and we covered the 3 European competitions.